What's up, y'all? Today I am going to be giving the ultimate SDR tech sales Q&A. That's right, the most asked questions and the best answers coming up. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the channel. I'm Tech Bag Trey, and today we're talking about the ultimate SDR tech sales question and answering, okay? I'm gonna answer some questions that are most asked, and hopefully it answers some of the questions that you have. So with that being said, let's get to it. What's the difference between a sales development rep and a business development rep? So this one is actually extremely easy, but some people still might not know, so I definitely don't want to leave anything out. The difference is nothing.
You smart.
It's literally the same role. Different companies call it different things. So some companies will call it a sales development rep, some companies call it a business development rep. So with that being said, when you are looking for this role, don't leave out one or the other. So if you need to, search job openings for sales development representatives. And then in the next one, go ahead and search for business development representatives. Sometimes they both pop up in the same, but you'll be surprised because that's what they call it in that company. They don't interchange in actual businesses, but in real life, an SDR is a BDR is a SDR. What is a sales development rep or business development rep? So basically, the sales development rep is just the person who is the handshake of the company. A sales development rep, they're the first person that normally the outside customer will come in contact with. So you're actually vetting these other companies and you're vetting these other business owners to see if they will be a good fit for your product, your service, your software. So you're gonna be asking the right questions and making sure they fit into the qualifications to be able to come on board with your company. And then also, if you're doing outbound research, then you're going to be vetting those companies, but also building relationships so that you can get them over to the account executive who's gonna actually do the closing. So for sales development reps and business development reps, you're going to be making the calls, vetting the companies, and scheduling meetings. That's what you are. You are a higher paid meeting scheduler. And the reason you get paid some good ducats is because you actually are putting in some big work, okay? You're gonna be a lot of follow-up, a lot of calls, a lot of emails, and that's just to make sure that when they do get on with the account executive, that they're gonna be the right fit for your product or service. What should be included in a sales development rep's resume? All right, so if you're gonna have any skills to actually put on your resume, for sure, you're gonna want to have communication skills. You're gonna want skills that are related to outbound prospecting, lead contact and development, which means like actually cultivating leads, and then sales team collaboration. So if you've been on a team that you've been able to collaborate with others to get the job done, remember, as a sales development rep, you're going to be cultivating relationships with these other clients so that you can set that meeting to pass on to the account executive to slam dunk that thing home and close the deal, and everybody gets paid.
I love it when a plan comes together.
So you're gonna have to be able to make sure that you're good with collaborating with others and, you know, really relaying messages and things like that. But I did want to put this in here. If you don't have any skills at all, like any experience in sales, but you do feel like this is a field for you, you probably have done some work in the past that you can use as experience for this job. So there are things that do kind of correlate and cross through. It just might not be called the same thing in your old job as it is here in sales and tech sales, but they do go hand in hand. And if you know how to, change the words and make it fit into what you're doing now, it will also work the same. And if you don't have any experience at all, but you're like, yo, I definitely want to get into tech sales, and you need help getting some experience, click the first link in the description below for the fastest and most cost-effective way to actually get into tech sales and thrive. Do you need to know how to code to be a sales development rep? The short answer is no. Actually, that's the only answer. No, you don't need to know how to code at all. This job is strictly on the phones, helping businesses streamline processes, get more time back in the day, save money, make money. That's what your software is doing for these companies, and you're reaching out to make sure they're a good fit. How technical is working as a sales development rep in tech? All right, kind of like that last question, it's not technical at all, really. If you're talking about a coding aspect or, building out computers and things like that, you have nothing to do with that, all right? Even if that's what field you're in, as far as if that's what your software works with and works in, you're still not doing it, okay? As the SDR or BDR, your job is to schedule meetings, set meetings. That's it, all right? You're not even selling, really, all right? You're selling them on a meeting, but that's it. You're not closing anybody. So it's not technical. What does the day-to-day look like for a sales development rep? A normal day-to-day is going to consist of, in the morning, checking your emails, making sure you didn't get any responses back or anything like that. You want to set up some calls for the day, make sure you have all that done. Some people start calling later in the day, or depending on what coast you're on, you might start early, but you want to make your calls. Whatever team you're on, whatever job you have, you're going to have a quota, right, of daily. We call them KPIs, but it's just your daily amount of calls that you're scheduled to make, right? You're going to have a set number, and you just want to, at minimum, make sure that you hit those, right? You can't control anything else. You can't control if they're going to answer the phone. You can't control if they're going to close on a meeting. You can't control who you're going to talk to, but what you can control is how many outbounds you make. And as long as you hit those numbers, everything else will fall in place as well. So after you make those calls, then you might close down the day by go ahead and finishing out some old emails, sending off some emails, setting up your next day, right? With calls, making sure you're good to go early in the morning or whatever you have to do. And you're gonna have some meetings during the middle of the day. You're gonna have some, one-on-ones or maybe mock calls or whatever the case may be. But a typical day, that's pretty much it, right? Whether you're doing that at home or at the office. What are the top 3 skills that a sales development rep should have? Top 3, and it's not 2, is communication skills, all right? Communication skills is absolutely by far number 1. You're going to be talking to other business owners and other people in your office and things like that. You're going to have to be able to communicate, hands down, no ifs, ands, buts about it. It's just necessary. So that's number 1. Number 2 is sales skills. You're going to have to be able to sell if you're in a sales role, and ultimately you're probably going to want to move up. So as you do move up, the sales skills do come into play a lot more. Up front, it's not really high priority, right? Like, you're going to come in, you're not going to know their process, as in the job. You're not going to know the way that they sell there. So they're going to teach you what you need to know to be successful in that industry, in that field. So just follow what they have set in place, and that sales aspect will come. And then the last one I would say is a good business acumen, or the ability to have good judgment, right? Your company is banking on you to make a good judgment on if this business is the right type of business for your company to work with. There are going to be people who try and sneak in, right? And what I mean is, like, there are companies who, if you have a minimum of an amount, if they're not there yet, but they really want your service, they're going to fudge some numbers.
If you're doing it, stop it. Get some help.
So you got to kind of see through that and make sure that they don't try and squeak through to your AEs, and then when they get in that call and they have to tell the real number, they're looking at you like, yo, what are you doing? You're wasting everybody's time. So you don't want to be that guy. As my AE put it, you know, you have a brand in the office as a SDR and up, but you don't want a bad brand, right? You don't want, when your name comes through as a lead that you sent up, you don't want those AEs to be like, I don't know about this one. I'm gonna have to put in extra work to try and make sure this one's good. That ain't what you want, all right? You wanna have a good brand, but that's just in life. But since we're on sales development rep, let's stay there. Did I mention communication skills? You gotta have it, that's necessary. What are the promotions that you can get as a sales development rep? So entry level is a sales development rep or business development rep. So in that, you're gonna have multiple different levels that you go up at. That actually depends on the company you're with, right? So when you come in, you might come in as an ABDR, which is the precursor to a BDR. And you're doing, as an ABDR, like you're making sure the minimum information is on an account for the BDRs or sales development reps. And I'm sorry if the titles are confusing you, but like I said, they're interchangeable. So you're gonna have to hear it anyway. You might as well hear it from me. But ABDRs, they do the general grunt work for the sales development reps, and they're going to make sure that phone numbers are right and, you know, correct emails and all that stuff. They get that done. Then you have your sales development rep, right? That's you. And in that, you can go up to a mid-market, which is like the larger small businesses. And then after that, you might have corporate sales development reps. And those deal in like the large mega companies. And then after that, then you go to your account executives. And then in account executives, you have the same thing. You know, you might have a mid-market account executive, you have a corporate account executive, and then the holy grail, you know, where the big money is made, you know, the $1 million plus a year earners and things like that, is your enterprise account executives. And that's like the big mega macho companies, just really crazy numbers. How are the actual calls when you're working as a sales development rep? So I know when you hear sales, you're probably thinking like, yo, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be trying to sell something to somebody. But these calls are totally different. When you're like a regular salesman on the side of the road trying to sell to like pedestrians and people, that is not the same as a sales development rep. When you're in this tech field, in tech sales, you're selling business to business. So these are people who know that they need money to continue owning that business. They also need to save money to make sure they have money for expenses and things like this. And they also want to grow the money. So your service, your software, whatever it is potentially in one of those buckets. And that's why they're more willing to speak to you, right? If you can come in and show them, hey, this software can help you save X amount of money this year, and that's going to add to your bottom line. Or this product is going to make you X amount more dollars for this year, and that's going to make sure that your bottom line is amazing. That's why they're willing to talk to you, right? So the random person on the side of the street that you might be trying to sell a trinket to that they're going to use for a week, and then it's going to end up in a closet or a garage somewhere, yeah, that's a totally different sale. And yes, you should be nervous about that, but this is not the same. These are people who they're willing to speak to you. They're willing to kind of talk to you because they know it can help their business grow. Now, that being said, you probably will get some haters though. And what I mean by that is a lot of these companies do have gatekeepers, and these gatekeepers are to kind of keep out the owners and things from just getting a lot of random terrible calls. Those are haters. They're gonna try their best to stop you, but because you're good at what you do, you're gonna get through and it's gonna be all good.
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
And then, since I'm on that token, once you get through, I'm not gonna paint the picture like it's all peachy and rosy. There are gonna be some business owners who just don't wanna talk to you, okay? And that's okay, because we know that a no is not a no, it's just not right now. And they could be busy, they could be going through things. So, hey, I'll call them back another time, that's no problem. But yeah, there's gonna be people who get on the phone, they try and hang up, they try and do other things. Hey, water on the duck's back, man, I'm on to the next. Because I know what I have can help your business. So it's okay. How do you get paid in tech sales? Talking about that money, all right? That cheese, Gouda, guap, cheddar. I can go all day with that. You already know. It's tech bag trade, all right? But anyways, when it comes to the money, in tech sales, you get paid your base salary, right? How much you take home every bi-weekly or month, however it is, salary, whatever. And then you have your OTE, and that's gonna equal your full amount. As you start going up the ladder, you'll add in bonuses, and you'll add in stock shares, things like that, that will make that number jump up. What is OTE? So OTE in tech sales is on target earnings. And that is basically your bonus. So your company, different companies do it different ways, but they set up different incentives. And if you, I almost said if you beat them, technically yes, but if you hit those incentives, then you get bonuses. And these can go up anywhere from, an extra 20,000, right? Or they can go unlimited, right? So a lot of companies have unlimited, uncapped OTE or bonuses. So, look out for those and, do your best to run that bag up, man. Run it up. Do you have to make OTE every month in tech sales? So, yes, if you want to make that extra bread, if you want to do that, then you do want to hit your OTE and on a consistent basis to make sure that you're hitting your numbers and make sure you're getting all that extra money that's available to you. But you do have a base salary and everything else is extra. So, if you really want to run the bag up, then definitely hit your OTEs or your on target earnings every month and everything's going to be okay. How much do sales development reps make? Sales development representatives can make anywhere between $40,000 to $70,000, $80,000 for the base salary. And then outside of that, the OTE or your bonus, like I said, a lot of companies, they have the unlimited. So you can really run it up if you really get good at what you do. It can be amazing. So, but just to be on the safe side, your sales development reps can make anywhere between $40,000 and $80,000 a year. And then promotions do happen fairly quick in this field as well. Is a sales development representative a good job? So I would say yes, it is. Especially if you're doing it for a technology company. Corporate America is one thing, but tech is a whole other animal, all right? So being able to work at these companies and bring in the bulk of the money that they use to really supply other people's salaries and keep the company going, it is really good and fun to be on that side. You're gonna be having team outings and just a lot of great fun and a great atmosphere. When you are in office, everyone's together. If you had a bad call, somebody else heard it, they heard it. And we're gonna laugh at it. We're gonna figure out a way how to make it better next time if it's possible. And we're gonna keep pushing. And you're gonna be able to hear everybody and see everybody and have a good time. When you're not in office, they make sure that they're taking care of you. You can ask anybody anything because everyone wants to make money, but you making money doesn't take away from somebody else making money, so it's okay. Everybody has their own territories, so everyone wants to see you win. Everyone does like to make money, so if that's something that you do like, right? It's okay. Everyone's okay because that's what we're there to do, is to make the company money, and in turn, after you make the company money, you make more money. So it's a win-win. And yes, I would say it is a good job. Who do you talk to on the phones as a sales development rep? So I spoke to this a little earlier in the video. You're talking to other business owners. Business owners are not the same as your regular pedestrian person that you're trying to sell to. So you're literally talking to business owners to get them to set a meeting for your account executives to close on business for your company. And that's the streamline there. And that's just all day. That's what you do, is setting meetings so that your account executive can close that thing. Do you have to sell anything to customers as a sales development rep? So I know, because you see sales in the name of this job title, that you're thinking sales, and sure enough, it is a type of sales, but actually closing customers, no. As a sales development rep, you are literally there to vet out clients or potential clients and then close them on a meeting to schedule a time to talk with an account executive who will then close them on the business. So you are only setting meetings. That's your only role, is to vet potential clients and set the meeting for your account executive. Is it hard being a sales development representative? At times it can be. As a sales development representative, you do have help and you do have people there for you, but you are often doing things without someone hovering over your back, right? So, hey, this is what you need to do. These are the goals you need to hit. All right, we're giving you everything you need to do that. You're good to go. So if you're someone who doesn't like to have someone hovering over your back or micromanaging you, then this is a great job. Now, the reason why I said it can be hard is because if you're not someone who is used to dealing and working like that, and you need somebody hovering over you or making sure you're on top of your stuff, then it can be probably pretty hard for you, because there's not going to be a lot of that. It's really a free range job role, right? So, hey, this is what you need to do. We don't care where you do it from, when you get it done, as long as you get it done. And for me, I love that part of it, but like I said, it can be hard, and I'm not oblivious to that. So I do want to let you know, if you do need someone to stay on top of you with that, it can be kind of tough on you. And also, I have done a day in the life videos. If that's something you want to check out, you can go to my channel and look at the day in the life of a sales development rep, and you'll be able to see what happens in the day-to-day. And with that being said, man, that was it. Leave a comment below if you have any other questions that you'd like me to answer, and maybe I can do a part 2 if there's enough. With that being said, always remember, it's high thinking, strong faith, simple living, smart work. All right, peace.